filled up. This is great energy in the room. I really like the kind of informal formality of it, and I really appreciate the work that Sarah and David put into getting this pulled together and getting me here. I feel well prepared and well supported, and thank you for that standing ovation. My name is Brian Gum, and I am the owner and roaster of Ross Street Roasting Company, which is based in Toledo, Iowa. And I like to say that what we are doing, right now what I am doing, because I am the owner and operator of the company, is that we are turning coffee drinkers into coffee lovers. I've had this craft of roasting coffee for about just over 2 years now, and Ross Street Roasting as a company has existed for just over 6 months now. So I started in this as a hobby and then moved into this as a business within the past year. So 2016 will be my first full year as a business owner and professional coffee roaster. And the way that I like to think about the process of us turning coffee drinkers into coffee lovers is that we focus on 2 things. These are the 2 things that we do well. We do quality and we do freshness. And in the coffee world, not all coffees are created equal. There's better and worse coffee. And what I have decided to do as a coffee roaster and a coffee business owner is specialize in what's called in the industry specialty grade coffee. Specialty grade coffee is a system that was developed by the Specialty Coffee Association of America. They have a 100-point scoring system, and coffees that are considered specialty are those that score 80 points or above on that 100-point scale. And so I made the decision to focus on that sector of the coffee world. For one, it produces much better tasting coffee. The coffee that you're drinking today is Ross Street Roasting Company coffee. It is a Nicaraguan direct trade coffee, which means I have a direct trade relationship with the people who process that coffee, and that's even from that processor's particular farm. So I have pictures of where that coffee came from, and I have emails and text conversations with the owner of that farm daily. So that's what you're drinking today. It's the good stuff. I just roasted it last Thursday on December 31st, so it is very good. So I'm very proud of our commitment to high quality coffee. Freshness also makes a difference in coffee, and this is the part of specialty fresh roasted coffee that is usually most surprising to people, even if they've considered themselves coffee drinkers and coffee lovers for many years. You cannot buy, in most cases, fresh roasted coffee off of a grocery store shelf. And so when I started passing out as a hobbyist fresh roasted specialty grade coffee to folks in a little farm town in Iowa, which is where Toledo is, little small farm town, people started to say, and even one of my friends who had been a lifelong coffee drinker, this is the best coffee I've ever had. And it was because of those 2 characteristics: high quality coffee to begin with, and then fresh roasted in small batches. So that's what we do. And we like to think that we do it pretty well. And if you have never seen where coffee comes from, and don't feel bad if you haven't, I didn't know where coffee really came from until about 2 years ago when I started doing this. That is a cherry on a coffee tree, and that is where coffee starts. It starts as a berry on a tree, and the seeds that become roasted coffee beans are inside of that fruit. And that is from the farm where the coffee that you're drinking this morning came from. And this is where I started. This is the proverbial, it started in a garage story. It actually started in the basement of my house, but I did that about once or twice, and my wife said, that stuff stinks, get it out of the house. Unfortunately, the process of roasting coffee doesn't smell nearly as good as the finished product. It produces smoke. And so I moved out to our back garage, and you can see this, the equipment that I used to roast coffee was not professional coffee roasting equipment. I started with a hot air popcorn popper, $20 at Shopko in Toledo, and some specialty coffee from a West Coast distributor called Sweet Maria's, and that's how I got my start. After about a month, I upgraded. I moved up to an Oster bread machine and a Wagner heat gun. And so that's what I used for a year and a half until I got my commercial coffee roasting equipment. So there's a quick timeline. I was a hobby roaster through all of 2014, and in 2015 started looking for investors, found some investment, got the company set up, built a temporary facility in nearby Montour, Iowa, which is even smaller than Toledo, and became a licensed and inspected facility in the fourth quarter of last year. So I am still very much in the startup phase. I am getting a process, and money has changed hands and legal documents are being signed. I will be moving into a permanent facility in Tama, which is just on the other side of Highway 30 from Toledo. And so I will be moving into a permanent facility, expanding into grocery stores. I have 2 grocery store accounts now in Grinnell and Marshalltown. I look to kind of branch out into the major metro areas in the coming year. I have an online store that has done decent business for not putting a whole lot of marketing money into it. I expand that this year, and then get more into direct trade product lines as well. My vision for the company is this: I want to be the premier specialty grade coffee roaster in the state of Iowa. There are other coffee roasters in the state of Iowa. There are other specialty roasters in the state of Iowa, but there's not many of either. And I would like to be the best premier specialty roaster in the state by focusing on the 2 things that I talked about: quality and freshness. And also, I didn't talk about this, the equitable, sustainable business practices and sustainable agricultural practices at origin. That's the kind of game that I play as well in the coffee world, focusing on those things. So attention to our customers and attention to our relationships within the global coffee community. So that's who I am. That's who we are as a company and who we hope to be. We're really proud of our product. People really like it. And I brought some samples with me, and if you really like what you're drinking, I even brought some whole bean bags with me if you'd like to buy some. So there's the pitch, and there's my contact info. I'm very active on social media, so I respond very quickly to tweets, Instagrams, and all that good stuff. So I'm easy to get hold of.
Awesome, let's give it up.